Hi, I think it's time I told you a little bit about my rewilding journey because here I am in Marrakesh in my new little villa, a woman rewilding. I keep using this term, but I haven't really explained to anybody what it means to me and also what my story is. I know some of you know, but 2 years ago, I was living in Westport, Connecticut, and I was married. And I was married to somebody that I really loved, and I was terribly, terribly unhappy. I'd been unhappy for a long time. Um, my children had left home and my career had changed, and I was living in a little house that well, it was just the completely wrong house for me. And I felt completely lost and untethered. I had no idea what my purpose was. And honestly, it felt much of the time that I was quietly dying in a life that I didn't recognize anymore. So I ran away to Marrakesh. I packed a suitcase and I ran away to Marrakesh to find myself. I know it looks like a midlife crisis. Don't fucking call it a midlife crisis. That is such a lazy, reductive term. I feel very strongly about this, as you can tell. A midlife crisis, I don't think there's any such thing because nobody knows what goes on behind the closed doors of a marriage. And no woman in her 50s, I cannot tell you how strongly I feel about this. No woman in her 50s leaves a marriage for life on her own unless she feels that she's got absolutely no other choice, because life on your own in your 50s is terrifying and overwhelming. It's filled with fear, especially when you do what I did and move to the other side of the world. But it's also been this extraordinary opportunity to soul search and to do the real work on myself and to figure out what the keys to happiness are. And I think more than anything else, to learn to value myself and stop people pleasing. So I want to talk a little bit about what rewilding means to me and what my memoir is about. By the way, I did not come up with this term. It was my friend Salima Saxton, who is utterly brilliant. But what it means to me is I think we are so often these strong, brave, fearless little girls. And everything starts to change at puberty when we start to squeeze ourselves into being palatable to other people. Often it starts with boys. Sometimes it happens before. Sometimes we've grown up with difficult parents and we've learned to tread on eggshells. We've learned to subjugate our needs and wants to make other people happy. And it sort of hits full force at puberty. And so it continues throughout our lives. And we step into all these roles, self-imposed, about who we think we're supposed to be as career women, then as partners, as wives, as mothers. And all of a sudden, we reach midlife, menopause hits, estrogen disappears, which are the nurturing hormones, and we're suddenly left realizing that we have no idea who we are. And actually, for me, it started on my 50th birthday when I looked in the mirror in the morning of my in the morning on my 50th birthday and just thought, who would you be if you stopped caring what anybody else thought about you? And my journey started then. And what rewilding is about, it's sort of going back to your roots. It's going back to those brave, fearless little girls who didn't twist themselves into pretzels to make other people happy. How do you find your essence? How do you come home to yourself? That's what my memoir is about. Can't wait to share it with you. I will be sharing more of my story soon, probably quite regularly, I think. It comes out in May in the UK with HarperCollins. Still waiting to confirm dates in the US, but stay tuned.